to the inner sanctum. How's it going?
And then, so $300 food costs.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, that was Jake.
Morning of day 3. Whew. Sleep.
On my back, on my side, and then my back, and then my side.
Not as good as the night before?
No.
I didn't either. Like, it was weird. I mean, I tried to get more straight, but I was more crooked, I think. And I feel like it's colder. Sun hasn't come up yet. Completely civilized morning compared to yesterday. I mean, it's hard to describe, but it's we woke up at 8 o'clock and got out of the tent, and it's a decent hour to get up at, and then you don't have to wait too long and there's sunlight. In December when we were doing this, even if you got out of your tent at 7, you were still waiting until 9 for the sun to come out. But right now, we've been out of our tent for half an hour. We have the fire going. We already boiled coffee. We're just contemplating life, and there's absolutely nothing stressful about this moment right now. We just eat breakfast, pack up, and hike out. Holy smokes, man. You like your coffee strong?
Yeah, it's got to be black as night and as thick as blood.
Like, and that's an espresso bean, or?
No, it's just really nicely roasted coffee from Cafe Rosso in Calgary. They're neighbors of the restaurant, so I like to support them.
even?
Sorry?
No, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh.
Yep, they look pretty even. Campsites are cleared. Packs are almost ready to go.
I just need a belt for these pants.
Which brand are those?
North
Face.
Face.
Yeah. What are you pondering, Chef?
Our next meal, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, out here, not today. But I am fat. I get it. That was a good weekend.
It totally was.
Yeah. We had a couple great meals.
We burned about, hate to say it out loud, but at least 20 trees.
Yeah.
Enough to build a small house. We could have built a shed.
Yeah.
I actually don't look forward to this first hill. Hopefully it's set a little bit. You know, the guys went down yesterday, and so the sun beamed down on it a little bit, maybe melted it and then packed it down, but I don't feel like sliding all the way down this hill, but I have a feeling we will. Whew. I'm breathing heavily already. Too much good food. There's a popular campsite. Hasn't been used this winter, but that's where we were, up there for the night. I'm gonna stay here, and you're gonna walk ahead about 2-3 minutes, not much, and then stop. And when you stop, yell back at me, and I'll see if I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
I want to see how far
Voices travel.
voices travel in this.
Okay.
Cool. Right now he's been gone about a minute and I can still hear him walking. I can still hear him walking. I can still hear him walking. Yeah, I can hear you. I can actually still hear you walking. Yeah, we made our point. I'm catching up. I'm coming. So yeah, if a group gets a bit separated, even if you're separated by about 15 minutes, which in this weather is about maybe 600 yards, less than that. We're traveling about a kilometer every 30 minutes. So if a group separates for 15 minutes, and 15 minutes after the group ahead leaves, you leave and you break an ankle and you're in a pair and you have to leave one guy behind and the other guy has to race ahead to catch up with the group, he might have to race ahead 7 or 8 minutes before they're in voice shot, which is not crazy. We didn't see that yesterday at all.
No. It's warmed up, so it's probably brought them out. Like,
look at that. There's a pile right there and a pile right there.
They're all over.
Is it just shells or?
Looks like wood.
No, it's he got pine cones and he strips the seeds out of the pine cones. Yeah. See those are like pine cone husks. So he breaks them apart and he just keeps the seeds. Or he's cleaning house and he had a bunch of he's like an operator that eats spits all day long in his truck and then he's taking out the shells. B-E-H-I-N-D, behind. So somebody yesterday heading back, I'm guessing it was Matty on his way out trying to catch up to Paul, left us know that he was still behind Paul. I don't know. That's a cryptic message. Heading home. Another great trip. There's a campsite here too. Right there, yeah. There's what?
A rope in the trees.
Oh yeah.
Hang a tarp up.
That's where we came out yesterday. This is actually the proper way we should have come in. Yeah, 2 days ago we came from the trucks, but we went up that way and then we hung too far to the right instead of going left. Woo-wee! There, camera's rolling. Come and give me a fist pump.
Yeah, man.
Woo!
That was awesome.
Alright, so I hope everybody enjoyed that video. I just want to close it off with a couple of lessons that I learned.
It's interesting that this event occurred so shortly after I had just published a video on risk management in the outdoors. So obviously a couple of lessons here, and three big lessons. So the first big lesson that I learned is I want to know who I'm hiking with. And so I had somebody on this trip that I had never hiked with before, and in the future I'm going to want to inquire more about people's backgrounds when I go hiking with somebody. So that was lesson number one. Lesson number two is, I think an important lesson is in a group, almost in any group in fact, when you get a permit, Parks Canada asks you who the group leader is. And I think we didn't get a permit here, but I think it's still important to establish a leader in a group. So especially at a group of 7 people, establishing a leader who can help when there's dissent among the group, or who can arbitrate or make decisions, perhaps keep everybody calm. So, and the leader doesn't have to be me in this case. It could have been Matt, it could have been somebody else, but we didn't have a clear leader, which led to some confusion and some issues. And the third lesson that I learned about this one is that I'm very familiar with that area. A lot of us were familiar with the area, but some others weren't. And one thing we didn't do ahead of time is actually sit down with a map and look at a map and all agree as to where we're going. So, I call it Turkey Point in this. Somebody else could have called it something else. So I think having a map and sitting down as a group and reviewing a piece of paper and a map and an itinerary and knowing clearly where we're going and establishing milestones along the way. So 3 lessons learned: establish a leader, share the itinerary properly with everybody, and know who you're hiking with, which includes who they're friends with, what their experience in hiking before is, whether they have medical conditions, how fit they are, things like that. So if you enjoy this video, hit that big subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, a like. And I'm preparing now something very interesting. My next video is going to be a series that I'm going to call not back to basics, but old school. I have a picture of me taken in 1995 when I was hiking the North Boundary Trail, and I still surprisingly have most of that equipment from 1995, and I'm going to recreate. I'm actually thinking of going hiking with my 1995 gear and then coming back at home and breaking it down and showing the evolution of some of the gear over the years. So if you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, as I always say, get off the beaten path, folks.